Here. Did you delete this?
I don't delete it.
John Fetterman, LGBTQ mandatory?
No. I don't know. Send it to me.
It's already sent to you.
Oh. Then I probably deleted it.
This guy.
It's what I do.
I sent it again. Woo! Welcome to the show.
Something wrong with that guy.
Friday.
That's just me. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Orange Men Podcast. Dave and Clint here with you on another Friday night. Saying the truth, spinning the truth.
Falling apart, man.
Falling apart. Spinning the truth, saying the truth. As we see it, as we say it, whether you like it or not. Thanks for joining us on another episode in our relentless pursuit of the truth.
I wrote it down for you.
Thanks. I'll get it memorized. I still got that song in my head. Oh, you see, that's in there. I don't think I'll ever get rid of that.
Well, you probably hum it in your car.
Violence in movies and white supremacy. That's it. That's some crowd right there.
That sounds like when people cheer for Biden. It's the canned applause. It's been a crazy week.
Hey, man, it's been nuts. But I want to talk about
what's up?
The destruction of America via transgenderism.
The children.
Yeah, not only the children. Well, we'll start with the children, but it's not just the children. And I want to touch on that because it's important. But here's what China is teaching their children.
Interesting.
Yes, they're grooming their children to be, hey, Donald, grooming their kids to be warriors, which is what we used to do.
I remember.
Remember that? We used to play with guns. I used to have a BB gun. I used to love Army men. I used to run around shooting things.
Yeah.
Cowboys and Indians. Cops and robbers.
Well, now it's woke. Can't do that.
It's woke. You ain't kidding. It's woke. And
I'm sure some pockets.
So check out this commercial.
Some pockets of the country are like that, but
yeah, this is a.
They're teaching it. This is a great one.
This is a woke commercial if I've ever seen.
New Aveeno Kids.
They sneak it in.
Big kids' sensitive skin and still developing hair. It's easy squeezy. I can do it because every can-do moment leads to another. A ballerina astronaut? Awesome! New. New.
What's this? A ballerina astronaut.
Yeah, that's a boy.
Another. A ballerina astronaut? Awesome! New Aveeno Kids.
There's nothing awesome about a ballerina astronaut. Now, it's awesome to be a ballerina, and it's awesome to be an astronaut, but it's not awesome to be a ballerina astronaut.
If you're a boy.
The fuck are we doing? I mean, and that's a subtle, subliminal.
Well, that's exactly.
I mean,
exactly. That's what they're doing. It's all subliminal mind brainwashing that.
When I was a young boy and I played Spaceship, I was the captain.
Right.
I wasn't the ballerina captain.
Because you were Captain Cool Ass Kirk.
I wasn't the baloney smuggler captain.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I wasn't the Tookus captain.
That's just one commercial.
What the hell are we doing?
But that's, I mean, if you, and I listen, I just happened to catch that.
That's great.
On a Telegram channel, which, listen, if you're not on Telegram, you're missing out because there's so many chats and so much news on there. And, you know, some might tell you, it's just full of white supremacists, but it's not. It's very resourceful.
Yeah, God forbid you get a little bit of truth.
Well, that's just it. A lot of stuff gets deleted because it's like, can't have these people on there.
Well, I listen, I wanted to point out that it's child abuse when you tell your boy that he's a girl.
Yeah.
And when you tell your daughter she's a boy. It's child abuse when you take a young boy and dress him in girls' clothing. That astronaut ballerina,
yeah,
it's fucking child abuse.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing to that kid's mind?
Now, it's
it's child abuse when you take him to the doctor and get him pumped full of puberty blockers.
Right.
It's child abuse. You should be prosecuted. It's child abuse when you line your kid up to be the next one to get his genitals removed.
Right.
Or filleted. Or your daughter's breast taken off.
Well,
it's child abuse. I'm sorry, son, you're not a girl.
Right.
You're a boy. If you think you're a girl, you have a problem. You have a mental issue. You need help. You don't need your balls removed.
Well, we're the only country. I mean, the Western countries are doing it, and it's
insanity.
Yes.
That we're talking about it as normal.
Yes.
And that's the downfall of this country. The downfall.
But that's what they want. And
I know it's what they want, but us,
they being whoever's in charge,
as normal human beings,
right?
We can't listen, and it starts with if you can't play into it and you can't give into it, and we think we're not, but as soon as you call Bruce Jenner Caitlyn, you've fallen into the trap.
Right?
He's not Caitlyn.
Right.
He's Bruce. He's always going to be Bruce. Caitlyn is a girl's name. He's a man.
Delete it.
I don't care. I really don't care.
Let's go. Let it fly. Let's go.
It's the truth. And we got to start standing up for the truth. What's wrong in this country is men changing their name to girly names and wearing fucking dresses and getting breast implants. It's a fucking problem.
Well, it's
not normal.
It's what we played last week with the
I'm done with it.
With that clip about it's about money.
I'm not calling you by your fucking
pronouns.
Whatever noun you want to fucking
your made
called.
up name.
It's insane.
I saw a post.
You're not a they them. What is that? Are you you're stupid.
That's what they are. It's that.
Not a they them.
No, you're that. I don't know what
not
you are.
That. You're a boy or a girl.
So I saw a post. Somebody sent it to me, and it was it was a girl who was 17 now. She transitioned into being a boy when she was 14, and she wants to kill herself now. Is basically what her post was. But the reason why she does it because the pain that it would cause her mother. And what she had originally said was kind of what we discussed before, like nobody told her no. It's you sure this isn't this right. You don't know it. Like, so when she had her top surgery, she kind of went through it and explained it all. And now she's looking back at all the stuff she's missing that other girls are doing. They don't tell you like all the medications that you have to have. You're never gonna be like, she's still, I guess she didn't have bottom surgery. So she's still meant, you know what I mean? Like she's still having her female issues. So like she hates her life because she's not like this beautiful young girl or this stud guy. Because
these evil leftist demons.
You're just there.
Diced you up.
And she
oh, we need to cut her tits off because she's going to commit suicide if we don't.
Well, no, that's not. She tried once and was well, they brought her
No,
back.
I know, but they
But she doesn't
they
want
say that all these kids that are confused are going to kill themselves if we
Yes.
don't play to their fucking their delusion.
Yes. And listen, if you can't make a decision on your student loans at 18, 19, 20, whenever you decide to take them, then I don't want to hear that kids can make decisions.
What do you tell a girl with anorexia? You're hot?
No, you get her help.
No, she's beautiful. Don't eat that, fatty.
Right.
Is that what you do?
No.
No.
You
You get her fucking help.
Or a guy. I mean,
Anybody. But all these mental issues we're normalizing as normal.
yes.
It's complete insanity.
And
for what? For political gain?
well, it's
It's sick.
it's the same thing we've been saying. It's such a small pocket of the
Well, it
of
doesn't
the
matter how
population.
big or how small it is. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're insane.
No, but we're placating it, and like you're saying, we're just going along with it because
I'm not
you're
going
a
along with it.
bigoted person if you
I'm a bigot.
if you speak. I don't say you're not. You love everybody, but it's like there has to be another direction than just going.
my
Even it's like the
anger
same thing
isn't
with yeah,
my anger isn't towards
the person.
the transgender person,
Yeah.
whatever they think they are. My anger is towards the people who aren't helping them,
Well, the
who are
mom,
manipulating them into believing that they are a guy when they're not.
the mom in this case tried to talk her out of it the first time, like of doing it, and she was successful. But then she was like, I feel the way I feel. And she kind of was going like the way she was laying it out was it was like in school, like you're saying, it just you're mentally being broken because you're in this confined classroom with these liberal, crazy fucking people telling you that this is the good direction, this is the way you should go. It's okay to do this. And then when you're like, well, I don't really feel like that. No, you do. You do. They're like massaging these thoughts into these people's brains instead of actually teaching them what needs to be taught.
I remember when I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school, and I didn't want to go to school. I couldn't. I hated it.
Yeah.
It was so painful to me to get up every day and go to school that somebody encouraged me to go talk to the counselor. So I went into the counselor and I told him how I felt. I told him my feelings, how I couldn't go to school, how I hated it, blah, blah, blah. Is there something we can do special for me? And you know what he said?
Fuck out of here.
He said, no. What's the matter with you? And I turned out just fine.
Did you, Dave?
Yeah. Well, at least I think I did. But I mean, I have a family. I'm supporting them. I'm working hard. I take care of everything.
Yeah.
But it was a time in my life where I needed an adult to go, dumbass. Stop.
Well,
I was feeling sorry for myself. My parents were divorced. I was going through some shit.
yeah.
And no one, I couldn't get, I was feeling sorry for myself.
But that's
And somebody slapped me upside the head and said, knock it off.
those times are long gone.
Imagine if he said, oh yeah, I think the solution is cutting your penis off. I might have done it.
Those times are long gone, and that's like, look, that's the purpose, because we're in a decline in this country of.
I was such a pussy back then. Thank God I had the people in my life. I mean, I remember playing football. I wanted to be a football player my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Who doesn't?
And I played in high school for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I changed schools after my parents got divorced. And that's when I was having all these problems. I joined the football team to think that would help me. So the first day of practice, I don't know, the night before we were chugging cranberry juice or something. I don't know. And I lasted like an hour and threw up all over the place. And I wanted sympathy. And that fucking coach wasn't giving it to me. And I never went back. Never played again. But thank God that dude did that to me.
Yeah.
He didn't coddle me and hold me in his arms and say, it's okay, you're throwing up. You'll be all right. No, he said, "Get the fuck off my field. You don't want to play."
Well, yeah. And
he treated me like a fucking man. And I didn't realize that at the time until I got a little bit older, and I look back and I go, holy shit, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. I'd be a fucking pussy right now. I was a pussy.
Well, the issues, and that's what I'm saying. And you have like some of these parents are just so, I don't even, like, it's disgusting. Because they agree with what this agenda that they're trying to push on everybody, and it's like, no, we don't have to accept this,
right?
And when you push back on it, it's like, well, you're homophobic. No, I don't mind gay people. I don't mind. Listen,
no, there's nothing to do with anything.
You want to be trans? That's fine. Do your thing. When you're an adult, 18, 19, I don't care.
No, that's fine too, but don't expect me to fucking call you Caitlin. It's not happening.
No, I get
You're
it.
a dude with tits.
But when
your name is Bruce. You come into my house, I'm calling you Bruce.
When we're trying
If you don't like it, don't come in my house.
When we're trying to indoctrinate these kindergartners and, you know, with the drag shows and everything else, like, make it acceptable.
That's really bad parenting.
Look at who the parents are, but that's what the problem is. That's the problem.
The problem is we're these people so busy trying to protect our children from pain that when they get to a certain, like this woman, she's trying to protect her child from pain by giving her everything she wanted.
Yeah.
Cut your breasts off, do whatever it is that makes you happy. That she didn't realize she was destroying her. And when the girl finally came of age, when she realized I'm not a pussy, but I could have been if people would have coddled my pussy attitude up until then. But they coddle this mental illness.
Yes.
And then when people get of age, they're like, holy shit, what the fuck did I just do? I ruined my life.
Well, that's the realization that she
they
has
needed.
now.
They needed a rational thinking adult in their lives. And there wasn't one.
Because everybody's just going, yeah, you should do it. It's I know we said this a couple months ago, like, it's the cool thing, like, oh, you're straight? That's gay. You know what I mean? Like you say, no, I'm saying, like, that's what it is now. Like, oh, you're straight. That's like, you're a weirdo. Like, right. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize. You know what I mean? Like, I can't believe it. Like, this group of girls over here, like, they're all.
I don't think I had any situation in my life where I said, "Hey, I'm straight." Never. No, I never once had to express my sexuality to anyone. Anywhere, anyhow.
No guy came on you in the old bike stop bar or anything?
No.
Mustache rides are free, and you're like, take them up on that offer.
It's because I exude testosterone now. Now, when I was younger and I was a pussy, maybe I could have attracted some.
You were a little.
But I
chicken hawk.
I mean, there's no circumstance where I ever had to announce my gender. No, I'm not. My sexual preference.
I'm just saying, in the schools now, and the hard thing too, like, I mean, it's totally different. Social media, all these apps. I mean,
I know.
You're getting bombarded with nonsense all day long, and if you're on that algorithm, you're being fed nonsense.
I'll tell you what, I think the best thing that could happen to this country is that social media just shits the bed. I mean, it had a lot of good uses, but it's been
well, that was the whole point of it. Yeah, Facebook and stuff, like, it's a CIA operation. If you don't think it isn't, they know everything. They know everything you're doing. Oh, here's me.
I don't understand why anybody cares.
Well, in the beginning,
I know, but who's sitting in a room going, Clint took a shit today.
Dude, who's sitting in a room listening to our podcast go, laptop,
boom,
you're
nobody.
Gone. Somebody is.
Well, somebody is, yeah. Some algorithm.
Yeah, it's not, it
might be Al Gore, actually.
It's not legitimately somebody sitting there. It's just keywords and key phrases that artificial intelligence picks up and removes it.
I just think they're out to destroy this country and the people in it.
Well, as I've said before, this is the last country and
the last bastion of hope. And how do you destroy it? Do exactly what Joe Biden's doing. That's how you destroy a country. That's how you bring down a country.
Well, I saw Trump said, I guess it was an interview at some point this week where he's like, oh, the because now Joe Biden's refilling the strategic reserves at $80 a barrel. Well, when Trump was doing it at 24, it's like, you're wasting money. You know what I mean? Like, what? But Joe's doing it's like, well, we gotta replenish the reserves. You know what I mean? And he even said, like, listen, your prices might be. He's like, they're not down greatly, bigly, but they're down.
Not
But
for
wait
long.
till the selection is over, and they're going to spike right back up. Whether they win or lose, if it's a red wave, they're back up the next day. If it's a blue,
either way, they're going back up.
no, I know, but it might be gradual if it's blue because they'll be like, well, we have to spark this war in Ukraine or Nord Stream.
No. Why do you think Biden came out and bashed the, if you don't gouge the American people by raising price? Why do you think he said that?
So he can have somebody to blame.
Yeah, because he knows they're going up.
Yeah.
They're definitely going up.
Yeah. Well, the reason why they're going up is because the hurricane production in the Gulf.
Yeah. And the pandemic.
We're still
and Putin's war.
We're still on the Putin's war, the pandemic.
So what do you think about the Nord Stream 2?
I don't know. I have a clip of Joe saying in February.
Yeah, that
22,
he's gonna end it. Mark my words.
Somebody else had said it too.
Mark his words.
I think it was like the Assistant Secretary of State said something too in March. Like if they continue their push into Ukraine, something will happen. And I'm not saying, listen, it's a right-wing conspiracy to say it, but listen, it's also a coincidence that there was a company that just opened up the next day out of Poland, nonetheless. So it's like, I don't know. Shit doesn't make sense. I was talking to our coworker from Lithuania this morning, and he is upset with what has happened because he said a lot of people. He said in Lithuania when he listens to the radio, like the stations, they're not doing anything. They're just talking, and he's like, they're not taking action to go. All right, well, what are we gonna do to solve these problems? And it's like, well, they're doing the same thing. They're blaming this person or this or that. And it's like, yeah, but that's not blaming people isn't going to be a real world solve when people are freezing to death come the wintertime. And he said their winters come quicker than they do here. Like he said, it's still mild there, like it is now here. But he said one out of the I forget what he said, like 52 years, there was 1 year where there was no snow. Every year it snows. So they're not going to be prepared. He said a lot of Europe isn't going to be prepared. And
pipeline went to Germany, right?
Well, a lot of it,
it's shut down now, right?
Yeah, well, because they blew they blew it up. Somebody blew it up.
Who blew it up?
I don't know.
How deep is that thing?
It's at the bottom of the ocean.
I know. How deep is it?
I don't know how deep the Baltic Sea is.
Yeah, well, how deep can you go with a pipeline?
Well, it was natural gas, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, is it?
I think they said it cost them like $12 billion to do, so why would they?
Well, it's just like a giant hose, right? It's not like a steel pipe. It's flexible because they kind of lower it into the water.
I would think somewhere along those lines.
I don't think they actually go down there.
Well, somebody went down there to fucking blow it up.
Yeah, but you don't have to go down there to blow it up.
You don't?
No, you can torpedo it or
a rod of God from a satellite.
Maybe. Who knows?
Like the Three Gorges Dam that's going to happen in China.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there was those two, and then I think the other one they just turned off too was the Gazprom from Russia that goes through Ukraine. That's the one on land.
I think Biden just even canceled some more leases.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And they want to end fracking in Pennsylvania.
On federal lands or altogether?
I don't know. There goes our energy independence here.
It's already been gone. I mean,
I'm talking about PA.
But yeah, I mean, Massachusetts, they're already, because we talked about it last winter, where Massachusetts, because they're on the natural gas life, because leftist fucking stupidity. So now they're getting ready to figure out how they're going to import more natural gas again from, I think it was like Argentina. They were bringing it up, and like, dude, I don't remember all these issues or discussions. I mean, when I was a kid, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like the country, like the shit that was like, well, you know,
When were you born?
Well, in the 70s. No, what I'm saying, but like even in my teens, like the shit I talked to my daughters about, like my parents never talked about, like there was never these issues.
Well, they
like,
kept it from you.
No, but even when I was a teenager during this time in the 90s and the 2000s.
Well, what was going on in the 90s?
None of this shit.
Kuwait.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was the bullshit ass wars, Desert Storm 1 and Desert Storm 2, and then obviously you had 9/11 in 2001. But what I'm saying, like even in the early 90s, like Bill Clinton was in charge, and like there wasn't any all this fiscal response like nonsense going on, and
probably just
like there wasn't food shortages, there wasn't baby formula shortages.
Well, now they got this one. This is their one opportunity to destroy this.
Wasn't
country.
all these car lines of food lines?
No, well, people were smarter back then,
and they were making less money. That's another thing.
Fall for this nonsense.
You're making less money, and
now there's way more libtards.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Definitely what it is.
Way more. Everybody got a trophy, and now they're fucked.
Our country's always been kind of center right.
Probably.
And even a lot of the Democratic presidents were kind of conservative leading.
Well, I think that's the issue too. Like you're saying, like the people that are in charge, so to speak, are assholes.
We've thrown all our traditions and our to the all of it's gone. Marriage has been destroyed.
Yes.
Life has been devalued.
Yes.
We're just our borders are open and everybody's coming running across.
Not even talking about abortion.
We don't even know where they're at. A guy called me the other day.
Yeah.
He was
what do you call you?
He called me Dave.
What's up?
And he was looking for something for his house, and he called our building. And we're not we're not built that way, so we don't just somebody calls me from their house and hey, I need this. Right. But he started talking to me. He's like, I got MS. I worked for 60 years and now I can't afford anything, and my Social Security it's gone up. I got insurance, but it doesn't matter because my premiums went up. I got to pay them. I got no money.
Fixed income.
Yeah, he's a fucking mess.
Barely getting by, yeah.
I live in New York. I'm a New Yorker my whole life. And these immigrants, they're coming across the border. They're living in tents. I can't let my wife go outside because...
I feel like you're doing your Fauci.
Well, it's the same. That's my impression is Fauci. But he's like, I can't let my wife go outside because it's not families of immigrants. It's just all men.
Yes.
It's a tent city of men. I can't let my wife go outside. And he's in a fucking wheelchair. It's a shame. It's sad, and it's real life stuff, and nobody cares.
Well, that's why
it's the destruction of this country.
That's kind of one of the things I like when like the nonsense that's outside of like some of the stuff that Joe talks about doesn't affect the people's day to day and daily like putting food on the table when he's like, wow, there's this and this. And it's but dude, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like when they're doing these bills or those, like that stuff doesn't matter. I also saw, I guess they walked back something on the student debt relief. So there's a bunch of people getting fucked now.
Yeah. Well, so what they're saying is a lot of student loans were government backed, but they were given by private banks. So if you went to a private bank and got a government-backed student loan, you're fucked. They're not giving you the money back.
Well, what percentage of the was that?
Well, it's like 77 or 700,000 people or 70,000 people. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. Aren't getting relief now.
I know the controller,
and it's partly because the Republicans sued them.
Well, I think Because he wrote it in as an executive order. I think it was going to go to the like you weren't getting that money anyway, because it was probably going to go to Supreme Court, and they were going to be like, "Yeah, that's unconstitutional. He can't just sign a bill and go, here's your money."
Well, he's doing it.
No,
he's doing it with fucking Ukraine.
That's not executive orders, because obviously Congress is signing off on the shit. So,
well, why don't Congress sign off on student loan debt? Because he can't get all the Democrats to get on board with that either. That's how bad that is.
Yeah. So I was the
You know
control.
it's bad when the Democrats don't like it.
Whatever the CBO is, what's that? The
Congressional Business Office.
Yeah. So they were saying that there was $1.1 billion paid out to. Remember the child tax credit that Joe was giving everybody last year? So there was $1.1 billion that people weren't supposed to get.
Oh.
And then there was 4.3 million families that were supposed to get money that didn't get money.
Good.
So here it is. Exactly. These are the people, the government agencies that are in charge of dispersing money, and they can't even do it right. And yet we're supposed to trust them and agree with them and believe them when they say, "We work for you."
Honey, where you going?
Oh.
Is she coming for it? Oh.
Oh, that's sweet.
All right. What about those broads on TikTok that do this? Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, the ASMR.
What does that mean?
It's supposed to help you fall asleep. My daughter actually listens to it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like heavy rain on and
It's like-
thunder on a roof. That's yeah, I'll go up in the when I wake up in the morning, I hear this shit playing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in there?
Why, hon? Oh, now they do this nonsense.
Yeah,
It's creepy.
Yeah, it is, and it's usually like some Asian woman. Like,
Yeah.
We should start that. Let's.
This is
Well, the Orange Men ASMR.
Orange Men.
We'll do like an hour of just like us doing it, and then you can put a loop.
Welcome to Orange Men ASMR.
We are going.
Fucking stupid.
We are going to put you.
We gotta go.
We probably do put people to sleep with this show. Anyway.
All right, plug them. Plug them.
Just listen to the show. Redcom 1, highest state of residence or
More
readiness.
cowbell.
T20 Sanders in the checkout. Operator code. Big sale this weekend. First Warrior Patriotic Apparel. Hats. Sweatshirts. T-shirts. All kinds of goodies. Outlaw 10 at the checkout. Patriot Cigar Company. 4 different kinds of good cigars. Orange Men in the checkout.
Smoke them if you got them.
15% off discount. And as always, you can find us and about 20 other great shows on your Roku devices on the Patriot Podcast Network.
Patriot Podcast Network.
All you have to do is search and add it onto your channel list, and boom, we are there. I can run through the shows, but it's going to take me forever.
That's it.
Actually, the shows that are on there are a bunch of shows that, unfortunately, people get deleted off of other platforms.
Yeah,
So
that's the thing.
we can always have the truth on your Roku TV.
You know, if you're listening to the Patriot Podcast Network, you are listening to the truth.
There you go. Thanks, everybody. Dave, are we done?
We're done, bro.
I will see you next week.
A week from today.
Stay safe.
Stay happy.
Be legendary.
Be horny, baby.
Stay vigilant.
Stay horny, baby.
And watch your backs of your fellow Americans, because after all, we are Americans.
We are all one. One team, one dream.
Go Eagles!
Go Birds.
So long, gay boys!